Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I've got my hands on a Mazda MX-5. This is not just any old Mazda MX-5, this is the 25th anniversary edition. They only made about 1,000 of them. So I just thought again I'd go for a bit of an overview of the car, and then we can go for a drive and I can tell you what it's like to drive. So what you get with the 25th anniversary edition, you get these lovely sort of 17-inch graphite alloy wheels. Really nice, really set out the car in the background. You can see they sort of match it with the bits of trim around the car itself. You also get these nice plaques either side. So this is number 941 out of 1,000. Black mirrors, black A-pillars all around windscreen. You get gloss black this, gloss black that. The gloss black roof itself is also black. What else do you get as well? You get these lovely stainless steel exhausts and a diffuser, which looks, when you look at it from the back, it's quite mean looking. But yeah, other than that, there's not a whole lot that's different. Interior wise, we've got this dash panel here, which is actually hand painted, which is a really nice touch, which is obviously only exclusive to this edition. You've got the red stitching on the handbrake and on the gear lever, and also around the seats. You also get these lovely white leather seats, or cream leather seats, with 25th anniversary embossed into the actual seat headrest itself. But yeah, other than that, all pretty standard stuff. But yes, I just thought I'd do a really quick overview with this car, because a lot of people know about Mazda MX-5s anyway. But I just wanted to point out the main sort of changes that you'd find on the 25th anniversary. So like I said, fairly rare, only 1,000 made. It's got the standard 2-litre 4-cylinder engine producing 158 horsepower. It's mated to a 6-speed manual 3-wheel drive. So equals a lot of fun basically. I've had a drive up just up to sort of this location where I usually film, and really good. The steering is awesome on it, but I'll go into a bit more detail in a bit once we're actually out on the road. So I will catch you guys in 2 seconds. As you just saw, I've just put the roof up now, just so it makes it easier filming wise. So I'm going to go for a drive now and I'll let you guys know what it's like. Okay, so immediately for what I've just noticed, just for those few seconds, is that the steering is very direct. You feel very connected to the road. Seating position is really good as well. These seats are really comfortable. So full leather, really not too hugging, to be honest. I wouldn't call them bucket seats. But yeah, I mean, the seating position is awesome. You feel really low to the ground. Steering really easy, really simple. You feel really connected to the road. So that's the first thing I notice. Gear ratio again, really short throw, a bit like my last review I reviewed the Fiesta ST. That was a very similar sort of gearbox, but this is actually even shorter again. So yeah, even more engaging. Yeah, really short throws, I like that. So I know the Mazda MX-5 has been slated over the years for being sort of underpowered. A lot of people think 158 horsepower is not enough power. However, from the bit of driving I've done already, I'd sort of, yeah. Okay, that's another feature I just found which is really cool. The shift light. Visibility is really good for the windscreen. Obviously, because you sit quite low down, you think it's quite a small windscreen. It is quite a small windscreen, but it's not massively sloped, so therefore you do get a good visibility right round. Mirrors are nice and big as well. You stay straight through the back, no problem, no issues. Yeah, drop down a few gears so we do. Pulls absolutely fine. It's naturally aspirated, 2-litre 4-cylinder engine. Yeah, no problems there, I don't think, personally. It doesn't feel underpowered. I mean, yeah, I'd be happy with this amount of power in this car. I think it goes alright. I think if you had too much power, I think maybe the back end would kick out a lot more. Yeah, again, steering on these windy roads is wicked, absolutely wicked. Really direct the car, you know, and the car will just follow wherever you want it to go. Right. So if I go this way, that way, straight away, instant. There's no doubt of where you're going to be, where you're going to end up, where you start, where you're going to end up. And so on this channel, I've mainly driven sort of front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive cars. This is rear-wheel drive. So there's a slightly different sensation in that. Rather than front-wheel drive is sort of pull you along, and this one sort of pushes you into your seat close to the power is from the behind, so it's pushing you along. Yeah, slightly different sensation. Obviously this hasn't got a massive amount of power, so you don't get like a kickback or anything like that, you know, it's not like an M3 or you know, a Porsche GT3 RS or anything like that, but yeah, I mean, it's yeah, it's quite a cool sensation, you know. Interior wise, really nice. Like I said, like I pointed out earlier, the fascia here is hand painted in like a sort of blackish, reddish, iridescent type paint. A really nice touch from Mazda, you know. I think I've also got summed up to this infotainment system which is underneath here. Again, it's a nice touch. Dials feel fairly solid, fairly robust. A bit plasticky, you know, but all in all, not too bad. Quality is okay for a Mazda, you know, that's what you do sort of expect. There's a lot of stitching going on here, lots, you know, nice leather panels as well. It's nice sort of brushed stainless steel or aluminium in terms of the handles and around the actual door handles themselves as well. Yeah, I'm fairly impressed in here with this, what it's like. Yeah, steering is impressive, it's really impressive. Yeah, it's so direct, I'm not really used to it, you know. You know, a lot of modern cars you tend to get in now, there's just no steering feel, you don't really know where the wheels go in and all that sort of stuff, but in this one you do, you know exactly where the car is exactly going. Okay, let's try a roundabout. It's always a bit of fun, the rear wheel drive car. Especially when you've got good steering as well. Okay, very quick run that. The back end kicked out a tiny bit then. That's quite impressive. Didn't really go into that hard if I was to do. So this car does 0 to 60 in 7.9 seconds, which, you know, nowadays isn't sort of record breaking or anything like that. But, you know, fairly quick. Again, probably still quite a lot slower than sort of a hot hatch, or modern hot hatch. Obviously they're ridiculous anyway. But yeah, no, fairly swift. Good bit of fun. Tells you to shift quite early on, and I mean, to gain a lot of momentum in this car, or to get the most out of the car itself and the engine. From looking online, that they've advised to sort of try and change gear in the sort of 7,000 RPM range. That will get the most out of the engine, because obviously it's naturally aspirated. There's no sort of turbo kick. There's a tiny bit of a power band in between sort of 6 and 7. But yeah, when you get to sort of 7,000, it really revs out and you really sort of benefit from it. So as per the usual format, this car has been supplied to me by Rob and Road Cars. If you don't know the car, go check them out. Details of the description in Details will be detailed in the description below. Go check out their website, Instagram. Guys are really friendly, they got good finance rates, loads of choice cars. They do have quite a few hot hatches available at the moment. They do tend to sort of stick to normal, to, you know, high priced cars as well. So yeah, be sure to check them out, and I'll see you guys very soon with another video. Bye.